Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about people that have an Aries Sun and Sagittarius Moon in their natal chart. Now, the basic character, which is the Sun, being an Aries in this case, can be very assertive, aggressive, courageous, even abrasive at times, outspoken, impulsive, and combative. Now, the unconscious side, in contrast to the conscious side, which is the Sun, the unconscious side being the Moon, Sagittarius may be very expansive, optimistic, exuberant, blunt, uh, jovial, and benevolent. And the thing about this combination, it's a good combination for leadership because you have the Sun and Moon both being in fire signs. The thing about this though is now the thing with Aries, Aries Sun, being even more connected with leadership, I would say, because they are the first sign of the zodiac. Now, with this combination, this person may bring leadership prowess, which is Aries, into something that could be Sagittarius related, which sports, exploration, publishing, advertising, religion, higher education, could be printing press operation, anything that's Sagittarius related. It could be a field that involves foreign travel. And interestingly enough, Pete Rose, if I'm not mistaken, he has this combination Aries Sun and Sagittarius Moon, and he was really like a prototypical athlete. At least in baseball, he still has the all-time record for career hits. Yes, he's been maligned by some due to being he's due to the gambling. He's been exiled from the Hall of Fame, the best of my knowledge, up to this point. And you may want to confirm that on the internet. But the thing is, he's still not in the Hall of Fame, and it's attributed to him because he was involved with the gambling and on believe it was his own team, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing about this is this combination. It could be a combination that has a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm and exuberance. Aries Sun is not easily discouraged. Sagittarius can be the incorrigible optimist. So this is definitely a very positive, upbeat, and optimistic combination. And the thing about this combination too, it can be about, Aries is about fighting. And this is a person that might fight, which is Aries, for their beliefs, for the things they believe in, which is Sagittarius. And this person may bring that aggressive, Aries energy. And again, it could be into sports. And going back to Pete Rose as an example, he was somebody, that epitomized, really an aggressive athlete. He played, not just with a lot of passion. He was very aggressive in his style, and he wouldn't be afraid to barrel into second baseman trying to break up a double play. Some of you may remember, the older people out there, that Pete Rose, it was in an all-star game, or either in 1970 or around that time, when he crashed into the catcher and he knocked the ball. I believe he knocked the ball out of the catcher's mitt and wound up scoring on a play. So that just epitomized his style of play. But anyway, the thing about Pete, this combination as well, again, the Aries Sun is not readily discouraged, and the Sagittarius Moon needs. The moon is about what we need, and I would say the Sagittarius Moon may need to be recognized again as that incorrigible optimist, as that person that is, always tries to stay upbeat, the perpetual optimist, no matter what is actually, no matter how negative things can be. And I would say too, if it's in a trine, let's say, somebody has the Aries Sun and Sagittarius Moon in their chart, and let's say it's in a trine aspect. Let's say, for example, if somebody has their Aries sun at 9 degrees and the Sagittarius moon is at 12 degrees, that would form a trine aspect, and the energy can be working, more harmoniously. And the thing about this is, it can also, keep in mind, you can also have an out of sign square aspect between these signs. Let's say, for example, if you have the Aries sun at 1 degree and the Sagittarius moon is at 29 degrees, that would form an out of sign square aspect. Now, there's some people that don't believe in out of sign aspects, whether it's a conjunction, a square, an opposition, in conjunct, a sextile, or trine. But the way I can demonstrate that, or illustrate it, the point that would show that you can have them, at least in my opinion, because, like, let's say, for example, if somebody has their sun in Cancer at 1 degree, right, and Mercury is in Gemini at 29 degrees. Those two planets are very close to each other by a degree. There would still be friction that would be connected with it. And even though they're out of sign, they're still in such close proximity to each other, I would say that they would still be feeling the energy. And the thing is, I would say that also applies to the other aspects in one's chart. Now, another thing about this too, of course, you've got to blend in the you've got to factor in other things in the chart. If somebody has an ascendant, say if it's in Cancer or Pisces, it would soften this fiery energy to some degree, because the ascendant is what people are projecting outwardly. It's the outer demeanor, and a lot of this Aries and Sagittarius energy wouldn't be quite as noticeable if the ascendant is much different, especially. And I would say too, as well, when you look at this, Aries, the sun is about our actions, and having an Aries sun, some actions can be very aggressive, impulsive, very quick and spontaneous, little hesitation or procrastination. In the Sagittarius moon, the reactions are going to be more, they're going to be very exuberant and enthusiastic, and ones which and also responding to certain, sometimes being very blunt. This is a very outspoken combination too, because keep in mind the sun sign is connected with the fundamental character of the person, and an Aries sun naturally could be very outspoken and direct. A Sagittarius moon, and I would say more when responding, because the moon is about our responses and reactions, Sagittarius moon could be so blunt to the point that they can demoralize, really embarrass other people. It's interesting when people talk about, Gemini moon, that's my moon sign, as being, insensitive and not having, really, sustained feelings. I understand that. But, it's funny, we don't really hear about is the Sagittarius moon, and people, that have a Sagittarius moon, again, can be very blunt, again, to the point of demoralizing and really demeaning somebody, and they really show it at times that they're not, exactly, overly sensitive to someone's feelings. They may forgive and forget quickly, but at the same time, they'll say things to somebody that a lot of other people generally will not even think of saying, and they don't really think about always think about the person's feelings and how they're going to react to how they may say something. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. And until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.